All right, what's up, my nerds? Welcome back. Thought I'd make two videos to start off the season. One just about the draft, and then the other one will be my predictions for the first week. But let's do the draft first. A few things. What I did is I went through every round and then decided what was the best pick that round and what was the worst pick that round. And then at the end, I'll kind of tell you who tallied up the most. Now, the reason I pick is so random. You might get it, you might not. But what I mean by random is sometimes it's just based on like, why'd you pick that player when these other players are almost as good and they came out 2 rounds later? Or why would you pick that position right now? You could have waited so much longer, or it was too risky or not, like too boring, whatever. I'll try to explain it as I go, but I might not get over it. All right, round 1. Best pick, Ezekiel Elliott. Why? Because you went on a limb and then luckily you signed a couple days later. Worst pick, David Johnson. Probably because he's going to get hurt, and this team's going to be awful. I don't believe in the Arizona Cardinals. Round 2, Juju Smith. He's just going to catch a billion balls because Ben just heaves it up there nowadays. And Kittle, one of those, like, he's not that good of a tight end yet, and I don't believe he's going to be that status to be picked in round 2. 3, Adam Thielen. He's just a ball hawk, and I think he's super underrated. Then Antonio Brown. Come on. Like, dude is an idiot. He should not be drafted in the 3rd round. He might not even play. Who knows? 4, Mark Ingram. Lamar Jackson, I think, will move the ball, but I don't think he's going to be the one scoring the touchdown, and I really don't think he's going to be the one throwing the touchdown. So I think Ingram's going to get him. Marlon Mack, I would just kind of stay away from the Colts until we figure out who they are, and I just don't. I think you have to have pass good to run good, and I don't think that's going to happen. 5th round is Deshaun Watson. I think he's going to have a really good year if he can stay healthy, and I think he will. And he's one of those combo guys that's great for fantasy. Worst pick is the Gordons. Melvin Gordon, he might not even play. And then Josh Gordon, because he also might not even play. Round 5 is a little early. 6, best pick, Duke Johnson. I'm excited. He was a good Brown. He was quality in fantasy because he caught passes. I think he'll do the same thing in a good Houston team. And then worst pick is the Bears. Just too early, and they're not that elite to be picked that early. 7 would be D.D. Westbrook. I think that's a great pick. Foles and him seem to have some kind of magic is the word, but I think he was up and coming earlier. Fuller is another guy he's a home run or nothing, so he's the worst pick that round because I think it's often times more nothing than it is something. Round 8, Carson Wentz. He was a stud, then he got hurt. Last year he was pretty good and coming off an injury, so I think he's going to increase. And Big Ben, he's just, you know the stats. He sucks on the road. He does decent at home. He's lost a lot of people. He's just not who he once was. Next is Breeze. One of the reasons why I think Big Ben was a waste because Breeze is better. His stats are downtrending too, but he's just got a couple of beasts in Kamara and Thomas who are going to make him look better. And then the worst pick is Corey Davis. I just think Tennessee's not going to be that good at throwing the ball, and Corey Davis has always been overrated. Next is Henderson. I think that's a great pick because this Gurley situation seems to be he might not even be healthy. It's really confusing. I don't get it. And Burton, I had him last year. He's the worst pick because this Trey Burton, tight end, because he was so unpredictable last year, and then he just straight didn't show up for week 1. As in he was there but didn't play. He all of a sudden was hurt or something or sick. I don't know. Round 11, Golden Tate. I just think he's a quality wide receiver that just got is dropping because of his suspension. So I think he's a good pick. And then Balaj, stay away from everything Miami. They suck. They're awful. They can't throw the ball, so they won't be able to run the ball. This is a backup trying to run the. Move on. Carlos Hyde. I think he'll get some goal line touches because they won't go to Duke Johnson. So I think he'll get a good share there. And Jameis Winston, overrated. His line is awful. It's going to be a bad year for him. And then 13th round, we got Justin Tucker. Good pick, solid. And like I said, I think the Ravens might have problems scoring in the red zone. So he's going to get a lot of kicks. And then the Ravens defense. Why does everyone think they're still good? They lost 1 billion people. I know there's history there, but I need to see it to believe it. And then round 14, Tyrell Williams, especially because Antonio Brown is guarantee you he does not play the whole season. And Tyrell Williams is then elevated to number 1, maybe, at least number 2. And then gold. You don't take kickers on bad teams, and that's what I think San Francisco is, a bad team. So, moving onward. What that means, just quickly, Andy got 4 selections in the good category. Chris got 3. I got 2. John Davis also got 3. Ben Black got 1. Heisler got 1. And then the bad pick list. Surprisingly, pretty spread out. Wagner, Jim, John, Chris, Ben Baker, myself, Tyler, we all got 1. And then Aaron, Ben Black, Andy, and Nick, you guys got 2. So that's where it fell out in my opinion. And if you want to see some of these things, you can go to the website. There's this cool little thing called final standing projection. So I thought I'd point that out. According to that, Jim and Drew won the draft and Tyler lost the draft. A couple extra comments on that. Who I think won the draft, going to give it to 3 people. I think John, myself, and Andy won the draft. Did this by looking at just quarterbacks and running backs. And if you had, gave me that feeling of like, oh, how'd they get all those people? And then kind of thought of who made me think that way. Look at that weirdo. And then second, then I looked at your wide receiver and saw if it like continued to give me that feeling of like, how'd you get that many good people? I think those 3 teams did that. And then I looked and I was like, did you skip a round? Did you miss something in there? Did you fall asleep and you just like didn't even get a pick? And I would say that goes to Ben Baker, Tim Heiser, and Jim. Then the all-time stupidest draft is Ben Black. And it's not because his team is bad. I think his team is more good than it is bad. But it's because he's a Steelers fan. And he has Lamar Jackson on his team. He has Le'Veon Bell on his team. He has Joe Mixon on his team. He has Duke Johnson, a former Brown, on his team. He has the Ravens defense on his team. You just scroll down to his bench. He finally has 1 Steeler. Who the heck? This is going to be an unenjoyable season for you. You are literally rooting for all of your enemies all season long. Enjoy that. That's it. I'm out. See you later.